The content of Kingdom of Healing with Kimberly Mateo, powered by 710 Radio, is intended for general information purposes only. It is not designed to provide listeners with specific and personal medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional services, or any advice. The programs are not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individuals with health problems should always consult their healthcare provider for professional medical advice, medications, and/or treatments. Kingdom of Healing also does not promote anyone's individual practices, programs, agendas, particular treatments, healthcare programs, providers, hospitals, and/or medical centers. The views expressed by show host and their guests are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from Kingdom of Healing. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our website. Personal perspectives expressed by the producers, writers, or editors will always be presented as such. We encourage you to always seek professional advice or care for any problems which you may have. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to the Kingdom of Healing or 710 Radio or the show hosts whose words and or opinions appear from or on this radio show.
Live on iHeartRadio, powered by 710 Radio. This is the Kingdom of Healing with Kimberly Mateo. So grab you a pen and a paper, kick your feet up, and get ready for some serious knowledge to be dropped on you. Because Kimberly Mateo is a nationally certified naturopath, master herbalist, iridologist, a nutritionist, and a holistic healer since 1977. She shares 35 plus years of knowledge and experience to listeners who are interested in learning and overcoming health challenges naturally. So without further delay, here is the host of your show, Kimberly Mateo.
Welcome back to Kingdom of Healing. Thank you for joining me today. This is Kimberly Mateo, and I'm going to continue on with what I've been going over the last couple weeks on the herbal aids for common ailments. And I hope that what it'll show you is that there's herbs that can take care of a variety of different problems. And some of these things, they kind of repeat over. So there are some really, really good herbs that you can use for a variety of different problems. So I want to continue on. We ended it kind of talking about deodorant, and internally the best thing with deodorant is natural body deodorant is chlorophyll, and the chlorophyll caps work excellent, or you can just get a hold of doublelcountrystore.com and purchase what you need there. She has some awesome products, Laura, and you'll love all of them. And they're very, very reasonably priced. Everything I talk about on Kingdom of Healing you can find at kingdomofhealing.com. You can type the name of the product into the search bar and look it up that way, or look for the A to Z. And that A to Z, you can go alphabetically by what it starts with and look it up. As you put those in your cart and you get to where the checkout is at, it will ask you if you want to become a member. And I just want to let you know that it's $40 for a membership, kind of like Costco and Sam's Club has memberships. But what you can do is, if you have a $40 order, that membership is free. Then you get it at direct wholesale. So I want to go on with this. Detoxifying, we talked about that with the cleansing in last show. And I would just have you, there's so much here that I just have you refer back to last week's show on the cleansing, and I went through a lot of that. One thing I might add here with this detoxifying is there is a product called All Cell Detox. And that is an amazing product. It cleans the blood, cleans the bowel, and detoxifies things out of your system. And that you can take two to 3 of them a couple times a day. Go through a couple bottles of those. That is also a good way to detoxify. Going through drug withdrawals, activated charcoal, 3 to 4 of them, 2-3 times a day to pick up those toxins that are being dumped into the system as you're withdrawing from taking medications. The chamomile works real well with that as well. Zinc, again, zinc is for the immune system. Probiotic 11 along with zinc, and takes care of everything that's needed so that immune system can function and do what it needs to do. Earaches, I love the Silver Shield liquid. A couple drops of that down into the ear canal and have them lay on their side with the ear that's bothering them up, and have them lay still for 8 minutes. Earache gone. It's awesome stuff. We've got a product called CBG, but the old Silver Shield kind of surpasses the CBG extract. So that's for earaches, ear infections. Eczema. Eczema, the aloe vera gel works really well for the irritated area. And actually, you can put a little tea tree oil in that aloe vera gel and put that over the area, the area of eczema. The thing with eczema and psoriasis, they're very different in the sense that psoriasis, you make new skin in 24 hours, and it's making you're making skin too fast, and that's why it can become very, very thick, and then pulls off. You catch it, it tears the skin off. The silver gel to help with healing that area, but internally, especially like with eczema, is good fat, and the best fat to use is the coconut oil. It's a medium chain fatty acid. It's absorbed very well, and it's absorbed quickly into the system. A teaspoon of it twice a day internally. You can use coconut oil with essential oils over that area. And frankincense corrects the DNA of the cell. And psoriasis is certainly one of those things where in that area of the skin is losing its DNA. It's replicating the skin too quickly. So by using 3 tablespoons of coconut oil and 20 drops of frankincense, that is something to put over both conditions, the eczema as well as the psoriasis. And you will be amazed at how quickly the eczema heals and goes away, and the psoriasis heals and is finally able to completely cover and heal a big open area. I've seen psoriasis to where it's unimaginable, where they lift up their garment and you literally see their muscles. That's how horrible I have seen it.
Wow.
I've seen it where they've had loose turbans on their head because they don't have any hair anymore. Their whole scalp is psoriasis. Okay, wow. So when you look up psoriasis, you see that is making skin. in 24 hours instead of 28 days. That's a problem with the DNA. So frankincense. 20 drops of frankincense, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. If you're dealing with eczema, add about 5 drops of tea tree oil to that. Don't add the tea tree oil, though, to the psoriasis one. That will burn so bad. It would be very uncomfortable. But the frankincense is not. Okay, so add a little tea tree oil if you're dealing with eczema. Also remember with eczema, internally hydrating with good fats.
Right.
And that's where coconut oil comes in. Okay? So that's how I address both of those conditions. Edema, that is, excessive fluids, holding on to excessive fluids. Herbal potassium helps to pull off that excess fluid. We have a product called KB-C, and it's for the kidneys. And that really pulls the fluid off of the body. You can get into a lot of trouble if your body's holding too much fluid. That fluid can accumulate in the it can accumulate in the sac around the heart. It can accumulate in your lungs. It can accumulate in the abdominal cavity. So getting that fluid off naturally is really important. With pulling that fluid off, the herbal potassium, the KBC, dandelion helps pull that off. Corn silk helps to pull that off as well. And those are things to try first before you have to resort to doing something like a prescription water pill. Try those things naturally first. Parsley. Parsley is a wonderful diuretic. And one thing, a little parsley nobody really knows, a lot of people don't know about, parsley is also a very potent antibiotic.
Oh, interesting.
Parsley. So, when you get that parsley in your decoration on your plate, I always take it and dip it in the water a few times, in the lemon water. Dip it in the lemon water, and then I eat it. Because it's a great source for natural chlorophyll. Look how deep green it is. The chlorophyll properties in it. That's a natural deodorant. It's all those deep green things. They're loaded with minerals and trace minerals and vitamins. So that parsley that's thrown on your plate of kind of the average food served up in America, eat your parsley first.
It's probably the only good thing.
This is really the only good thing on your plate. Is your parsley. So unless it's Roundup ready. Yeah. So, okay. Endurance. I talked about that. Endurance, energy, Energy V, bee pollen, concentrated licorice root, the product Super Trio, which is really convenient. It's in packages. It's a couple vitamins. It's an antioxidant, and it's essential fatty acids. So that, along with also cordyceps, the mushroom cordyceps, amazing for stamina and endurance. Licorice root, it's excellent for that. So endurance, energy, strength, those all really help to build good strength. Amino acids added to that. Your eyes, dry eyes. You see these drops on TV for the dry eyes, and the eyes are all bloodshot and everything. The product, that prescription is really, really expensive.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. And, one thing that works wonderful for dry eyes, and you don't have to apply it every day. first thing in the morning and maybe throughout the day and maybe at night, and go through that expensive little bottle quick. Coconut oil. I kid you not. Coconut oil. Non-GMO, organic, unrefined coconut oil. Get a little bit of it on your finger, and you got to work quick because coconut oil melts so fast that it's liquid and running off your finger really quick. Pull your bottom lid down, tilt your head back, and just swipe your finger with the coconut oil into your eye. Do that before you go to bed.
Very interesting.
And you know what? You're not going to have to do that again for 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
Coconut oil. Internally, for any eye problems, we have a product called Perfect Eyes. One of those twice a day increases your vision. It helps to restore it. Years ago, when I had my first driver's license, when I moved out here to Colorado, turned in my, previous state driver's license, I needed my glasses. A little longer on herbs. Yeah, I've been able to go in and ace that eye exam every single time when the renewal for my driver's license comes up. So,
Cool.
yeah, and it's been off and on throughout the years, it's been the Perfect Eyes. We had what used to be called EW, and then they had the Perfect Eyes, and we had a product called EWX, and EWX had cayenne in it, and that was one of Dr. John Christopher's formulas. And now we have the EW, and I use the EW when people have cataracts. I have them take 1 cup of purified water and bring that to a boil on the stove in a stainless steel pan or a Corningware, not microwaved, okay? No microwaved water, no microwave food either, but no microwaved water. Heat that 1 cup up, bring it to a boil. Turn the stove off and open and empty out 2 capsules of the EW. Put a lid over the pan, push it to the back of the stove. Let it sit for 20 minutes to a half an hour. Strain it really well. Get all that little particles of herb out of there. Put that into a little, some kind of little bottle. And you can keep that in the refrigerator up to 3 days. 3 days, a full 3 days. And then throw it out, make a new one. What you're going to do is you're going to pour that into like an eye cup that you get at a pharmacy. The old-fashioned eye cups. Pour that into that, and then put that over your eye, tilt your head back, and blink and roll your eye around. And get that bathe the eye with that mixture. Do that twice a day. What happens with cataracts is within about a week, you're going to start getting this stringy stuff that is in, to clean your eyes out in the morning. And it's amazing what is going to slough off of your eye. A cataract is a calcium deposit on the lens of the eye. So by using this formula, EW, and making a tea out of it, it breaks that down, and it literally gets that to emulsify off of the eye.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. I had an old farmer wake me up one morning. It was about, 6:30 in the morning, banging my front door down. And I had him on the EW, and he was making this tea, and he had a really bad cataract. One eye was completely covered, and he couldn't see. The other one was taking up about half of his eye.
Wow.
And his vision was really diminished, and he showed up, his wife drove. And it was about 2 months later he's banging my front door down. I mean, I get to the front door, and it's this little elderly farmer, and he says to me, I was close to your house, and I just had to stop by and tell you. He said, I could see the barn out the kitchen window this morning, my farthest barn back. I could see it. He says, I want you to look at my eyes real quick. And I was like, geez, dude, all right, okay. So I pull my light out and magnifying glass, and actually, I don't even think I used the magnifying glass. I just pulled my light out and put it up to the side of his eye. The cataracts were completely, totally gone.
Wow.
They were gone off of his eyes.
Very cool.
So, yeah, the product is excellent and it works. If you're dealing with glaucoma, we have a product called Tygo, and it's a liquid. And it's in a 25-ounce bottle. It comes in 2 bottles, and it's about $58 wholesale. So you do 1 ounce a day of that. I mean, hey, if you can afford to drink more, my brother says it should be illegal because he can't drink it that way. He pours himself a glass, and before he knows it, in a few days, he doesn't have any more Tygo. So, anyway, that Tygo, I've had a lot of people that had glaucoma, and after a month on the Tygo, going back in and having the pressure test done again on their eyes to check the glaucoma, there's dramatic improvement in the pressure tests. And within 2 to 3 months, they're at a normal level. And that is with the Tygo. I have found the Tygo to work the fastest when it comes to glaucoma. But the EW works the fastest when it comes dealing with cataracts. And the Perfect Eyes works best for improving conditions of like a lazy eye, where you have astigmatism. Overall health and vision of the eye is helped by the Perfect Eyes. And the good old coconut oil takes care of dry eyes. Okay, so those are 4 different products that really zero in and do some very specific things with the eye health. So, and of course, circulation. So, cayenne pepper is always good because I want you to remember circulation above the waist, cayenne pepper. Below the waist, ginger. Female complaints. A lot of it is don't drink soy milk. Don't eat soy products. They mess with your hormones. They get onto receptor sites where they shouldn't be. And I don't use any soy products, and I don't recommend any of them. The only soy you should have is fermented. I don't do the soy stuff because of it, how it does interfere with not only estrogen receptor sites in our body, male and female. Because, look at all the guys now being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Right.
Styrofoam, microwave food and plastics, all the plastic that everybody eats and drinks out of. They're finding there's a lot more things other than BPA in these plastics that are causing hormone interference with the receptor sites. But soy is one of those things too, and it also, soy affects and interferes with thyroxine. That is, it's the hormone from the thyroid. Another thing that interferes with the thyroid is the bromides in the bakery products and bread. So read those labels. You find bromide, put it back on the shelf. It's not something you want in your body. It disrupts and interferes with your thyroxine, and that is secreted from the thyroid. Thyroid problems can be underlying in a lot of female issues. Polycystic ovaries. That's a thyroid problem. You go back to taking care of the thyroid, and those cysts go away. It's even in their medical books. Polycystic ovaries, that's a thyroid problem. It doesn't cause for removal of your ovaries. You don't lose your ovaries to polycystic ovaries. Take care of your thyroid. Kelp, dulse, two of the best things. Iodine. The iodine, you can get that at a health food store. But we've got the thyroid support that has some thyroid glandular in it, and then it is in a base of herbs that feed and support the thyroid. But soy and bromides, those really interfere with thyroid health and thyroxine production in the body. So that can lead a lot of times to female complaints, a lot of cramping. Again, magnesium. We're magnesium deficient. Americans are magnesium deficient. If you're magnesium deficient, you're calcium deficient. If you're not regulating, what regulates that calcium is your thyroid.
Interesting.
If you got soy products in your diet and you're eating lots of bakery products, well, there goes the thyroid. Oh, okay, so you're not assimilating your calcium and magnesium. Well, that's kind of dictated by the thyroid and the parathyroid. So you see how you can have underlying conditions that create all this multitude of all these other problems, and pretty soon you're getting tested for this, you're getting tested for that. They're taking blood for this, they're taking blood for that. They got a pill for this and a pill for that.
Right.
When maybe it is, quit drinking the soy milk. Quit eating all the bakery products with the bromides in it, because they use the bromides as a conditioner for, the bread looking really good. They've all got it. And it displaces thyroxine. The iodine, it displaces iodine, and bromides displace iodine. Iodine is what feeds the thyroid. Okay. So, red raspberry is the herb for women's complaints, like ginseng is to men. Reproductive glandular problems with men, you use ginseng. Women do wonderful with red raspberry and a Chinese herb called dong quai. Dong quai. So we have a female comfort formula that has raspberry and dong quai in that, and that is an excellent product. But you've also, if you're childbearing age, you got to be really careful, because we joke there's a baby in every bottle of the female comfort. And that goes back to an old formula which belonged to an early 1900s herbalist named Lydia Pinkham. And Lydia Pinkham was also one of the first women millionaires in the United States, and she had an herbal elixir, and it was a female corrective. And I knew her nephew, her nephew Dennis Pinkham. Gal that got me involved in with the company that I use. She was married to Dennis Pinkham, and kind of ironically that her husband's aunt was Lydia Pinkham, who was an herbalist in the early 1900s. And I really kind of followed the path after my great-great-grandmother. Got a lot of medical people in my family, and I did the alternative route with the natural healing, and my great-great-grandmother was like a lay midwife and an herbalist. And so we had a lot of herbs poked down us as kids. So it wasn't too strange to me. But, okay, there's also, for women, there's also the DHEA. DHEAF is for women, and that's 25 milligrams, and you take that only one time a day. And that's the mother hormone. And it helps to get the other hormones in balance. And for men, we have the DHEA-M. Because, it's not just women who go through hormonal things. And women aren't the only ones that go through the change of life. Come on, guys, you can get a little crunchy. And that's hormonal. Some of that crunchy attitude. They do well on some hormone balancing. Imagine that. Fevers. Best things with fever is, hey, get them in the tub. A tepid tub. Cup of rubbing alcohol. Put into some bath water. And that helps to bring that fever down. An enema, if it's a child. Cool enema with an opened and emptied capsule of LBS2 will clean that bowel out, and then do a small cool enema with a tablespoon of chlorophyll in that, and half the amount, like maybe just an ounce, just a little bit, and put the chlorophyll into that, and then give it as an enema. And it's actually more like a bolus. It holds, if it's cool, it constricts, and it holds it into the bowel, and that's absorbed then through the bowel and throughout the system. Other things that take care of fever. Fever is always a sign of infection or that there's something going on in the body, but it's good to work with a fever, because a fever is also the body's way of incubating something and burning it up. It's your immune system working. I mean, if you've got something horrible and you're not burning a fever, your immune system is really, really diminished. Okay, so that is fever. Fever's good, but you don't want to let it get way too high. They're saying now with children, 102. Don't bother bringing them in unless it's over 102. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'm staying my feet rooted still a little too deep in old school. I would never, ever allow a fever to get to the point of 102. It just wouldn't happen. I mean, I would have been on it before that so that it didn't get to that level. So things that also help to bring that fever down is garlic, hydrating them, making sure there's plenty of fluids, vitamin C, chamomile tea is something that works really well on bringing a fever down as well. Flea powder, next one, good thing to, if you're living in the South, Missouri, Arkansas, at the beginning there, lots of fleas. Lots of fleas. Best thing you can do on your animals is spraying them down with tea tree oil and garlic oil in about 4 ounces of water, 10 drops of garlic oil, 10 drops of tea tree oil, 4 ounces of water, shake it up, spray them down because of the ticks and the fleas. Black walnut can be sprinkled, on their coat, and black walnut and baking soda is a good thing to mix and sprinkle on your carpeting for an area where the infestation is at, and then vacuuming and vacuuming and vacuuming and vacuuming, because the baking soda helps to suffocate. It helps to suffocate them. People that deal with a lot of gas, that is digestive problems. Peppermint oil in the liquid chlorophyll helps with that. But there's also a specific combination called anti-gas, and it's actually a digestive aid, because a lot of gas is created from the digestive tract not having enough enzymes. So the AGX helps with that, takes care of the bloating, takes care of the gas. Food enzymes is also something to make sure that you have enough enzymes in the digestive tract. And then, of course, if your gas is stimulated by consumption of dairy products, then you want to make sure that you take 3 to 4 of the lactase enzyme, which we have. You can order on kingdomofhealing.com, the lactase enzyme. And that's for those of you out there that are lactose intolerant. And anybody who is lactose intolerant knows how miserable their digestive tract becomes when they ingest dairy products, especially a glass of milk. You know, all of this lactose-free milk that you see at the store, it's full of lactase enzyme. You know, there's the lactase enzyme is in the milk, and that's how you're able to digest it and not have any problems. The lactase enzyme is directly in the milk, so that you're able to break down the lactose that's found in the milk. Gum infections. Brushing your teeth and then rinsing your mouth out with the Silver Shield. Putting 1 drop of cloves into a half a cup of water and just swishing that through your mouth, and then, spitting it out in the sink. Swishing that around. That cloves will kill the bacteria in the mouth with the with gum infections. Another thing that works really well is you can do oil pulling. And you take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and you put in that 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, put 5 drops of cloves and 5 drops of frankincense and 5 drops of myrrh. And put that in your mouth and just swish it back and forth for 20 minutes. Just keep that moving around in your mouth. Do not swallow it. It will get real frothy and foamy. And after about 20 minutes, then when you spit that out, it's going to be amazing the way it looks. And it just pulls all that infection out of the gums. And, you go to kingdomofhealing.com and you look up our frankincense oil and our myrrh. Yeah, you're going to go, this is really expensive, but I'm going to guarantee you, absolutely guarantee you, it is 100% pure, authentic essential oil. It is not diluted. It is not adulterated in any way, shape, or form. The essential oils that you find on kingdomofhealing.com are absolutely authentic essential oils. And you can buy the cloves as well, and that is much more reasonably priced. But if you're dealing with mouth and gum infections, maybe you've got some bad teeth, you can't get around to getting to the dentist yet to take care of them, because really, if you don't have dental insurance, how does somebody take care of dental work? I mean, they are way out there with what they charge. Cloves, frankincense, and myrrh, and coconut oil with the oil pulling is your best. It is the best defense that you have on taking care of that. And it works. It works, and you know what? It'll also really whiten your teeth as well. But it'll pull any kind of infection out through that you've got going on in the mouth or the gums. But they're pricey, but they're also good-sized bottles. So they're going to last. You know, they are going to last. Bad breath. People with bad breath. You know, it's like when you brush your teeth, brush your tongue.
Oh, I was you.
That bad breath comes from your tongue. And I did a past show on, you know, looking at the tongue and interpreting, you know, what's going on with your health by taking a look at your tongue.
Right.
So you might want to go back through the archives and find the tongue diagnosis. Because, you know, halitosis, you know, people who have a real sulfury smell to their breath, you find that a lot of times those are people that are, a lot of times they're really lean. And what it is that is all the metabolizing. That's the smell of that ketosis, where their body burns. You know, they are a metabolizing machine. People who are a metabolizing machine, you know, usually when you're talking to them, you back up a little bit because of the smell of their breath. And it usually smells real sulfury. And that's that metabolism. They have that racehorse metabolism. And people who get into doing like that ketogenic diet or the low carbohydrate diet where you get your body into ketosis to where it's just burning fat so fast that their weight is just dropping right off of them. But I tell you what, it is a really meticulous, I mean, it's a diet that'll drive you crazy because it's so limited. It's just lots of fat, lots of meat, and only green leafy vegetables. That's it. And it's, you know, you can have a little bit of carbs, but if you can't burn those carbs, you're never going to be able to burn carbs. And, you know, people stay on that ketogenic type diet, which is a very low carbohydrate diet. And the good fats to get in your body is always coconut oil. You know, coconut oil, olive oil, butter, but preference, coconut oil. That's with the, you know, the bad breath, brushing the tongue. Peppermint oil, again, works really well. Chlorophyll. Our liquid chlorophyll has peppermint oil in it. So, the stuff tastes good, really good. Hay fever. The ALJs. Garlic works real well for that. Peppermint oil again. You know, just by smelling it. The hay fever, allergic reaction, the histoblock. You know, so if you're dealing with allergies in your home, you know, that you've got cycles of during certain periods of the year where, you know, you have people in the home that are that have allergies and sensitivities, it would be good to have on hand a bottle or two of the histoblock. Everybody who deals with allergies that use the product, they're amazed at how quickly it works, and that's the other benefit of it as opposed to Benadryl. It does not make you sleepy, so you're able to continue on with doing what you need to get done during the day. An overall product for headaches, severe headaches, is Feverfew. And we also have Feverfew in a concentrated form. And so the concentrated Feverfew is excellent, just that, you know, you don't have to swallow as many headaches, migraines, things along that line. Complicated headaches respond really well to the Feverfew. The other thing that works really well is with that is the nerving formulas. And the one that works really well is the Nerve 8 and then the APS with white willow. And white willow is a natural occurring aspirin, so it's analgesic. So it works with pain, specifically IF relief and feverfew. Also work really well for headaches and migraines and those who get the complicated headaches. Circulation, when you're not dealing with a headache, is really important. And again, that's where cayenne works with all the circulation, excellent above the waist. So it helps with the brain. It helps keep that blood moving. Okay, so capsicum is good to use when you're not dealing with your headaches. But if you're one of those ones that you end up that your head hurts for a week after you get a headache and you can't touch your hair because your headache was so bad.
Right.
Yeah, you need to have on hand the APS with white willow. You need to have on hand the feverfew. And that feverfew you need to take every day as a preventative. Not just when you get the headache. You need to take it as a preventative. So you need to take, if you're somebody who gets really, really severe, stop you and knock you out 2-3 days, you need to be taking a couple of fenugreek twice a day, every day, as a preventative. Heart attack, cayenne pepper. Remember I told you, circulation, that cayenne will stop a heart attack. The other thing is taking amino acids, the free-form aminos, because the arginine, the research, look up L-arginine, and the research, I did a show on cardiovascular and talked all about L-arginine and the nitric oxide that it produces. It cleans out the veins so well. Why would somebody want to take some of the other things that are available on the market? And the problem with those particular products, some of them, you get into a situation where you need surgery. You're not going to be able to get surgery. So amino acids are great to take. The L-arginine, we've got a 100 milligram CoQ10 that is an amazing product, and it doesn't cost much more than the CoQ10 50 milligram. So it's really not much more. It's about the same price. So that's always the one that I use, that we take at our house. Vitamin C, vitamin E, also good things to take to put you in the prevention mode. Hawthorn berries, hawthorn is for the heart. HS2 is a formula that has hawthorn, cayenne, and garlic in that. So that particular product feeds the heart as a muscle, takes care of circulation, as well as breaks down your cholesterol. HS Roman numeral 2. Very, very good for the heart. Heavy metal poisoning. We have a product called Heavy Metal Detox. And then, of course, any ingestion of anything that is toxic. Activated charcoal.
Right.
4 to 6 of them. Get them in some water and drink it down. You're not going to like it, but guess what? It's going to keep you alive. High blood pressure. Garlic, capsicum. Well, you find that stuff in that HS2 product. The other thing is there's a product called Blood Pressure X that works very, very well for high blood pressure. Hoarseness, licorice root. Honey with honey on a teaspoon with a squeeze of lemon over it. And take that. And what? Yeah. that will help to soothe the back of the throat. Gargling with the silver shield, the liquid silver. Baking soda. Half a teaspoon of baking soda in about 3 ounces of water. Gargle with that. It balances the pH in the back of the throat. So if you've got a virus or you've got a bacteria that's causing like a laryngitis, that's interfering with you being able to talk, that balances the pH. And again, that alkaline water machine, you got the link on the Facebook Kingdom of Healing page. The unit is amazing. It's $8.95. It normally has a retail of $15.95. It's quite a savings. Immunity. We've got the Colostrum Plus. Colostrum is why you nurse your children. You introduce anything that you have ever been exposed to. Those antibodies are introduced in your milk. Prior to the pre-milk, before the milk comes in, it's in your colostrum. Colostrum, yes, it comes from bovine, which is cows, but cows didn't get polio. Cows had a natural immunity to it. It's found in the colostrum. So colostrum is a wonderful way to build back up the immune system. Probiotic 11. We've got the immune stimulator that is herbs and lots of different wonderful, wonderful mushrooms like the reishi and shiitake, cordyceps. There's the Colostrum Plus. There's the colostrum and then colostrum with immune factors. And that colostrum product with the immune factors has a variety of different mushrooms in that. So that is an exceptional product. And if you're really dealing with illness, that colostrum with immune factors and the probiotic 11, open 4 of each. Mix that into a little bit of applesauce, a couple tablespoons of it, and take that and take it before you go to bed. It's a wonderful product. I had a colostrum product in the late 80s, and I was too early on the scene with a chewable colostrum product. And if there was ever anything that I would do again, it would be that colostrum product. Because it was amazing. A very good friend of my brother's had a blood transfusion and ended up with AIDS. With the colostrum product, I shipped him out. I kept him in plenty of colostrum. And I told him to chew as many as you crave today. And when he started on it, he'd chew 10 to 15 of them up a couple times a day. Like he'd put one in his mouth and it was like he couldn't quit chewing it up. He lived about 9 years with a 0 T-cell count.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, lived 9 years with it.
Wow.
0 T-cell count. And, there's much more now that we know about the virus, and there's certainly other things that I would add to that with what's known now, but we're talking, this was 30 years ago, little more than 30 years ago. And, I had just been using it on people that I knew. We didn't get out there marketing it nationwide until the late 80s. But people were like, you gotta understand, the people in the 80s were the diehards. They were mostly vegetarians. They didn't eat beef, and they weren't eating anything that came from a cow. Some people want to say, oh, well, I take goat colostrum. Yeah, really, yeah. You know how hard it is to get the abundant amount that you need from a goat? Yeah, tell that to somebody who doesn't know better. So we had it from, grade A dairy cows that were not inoculated. And that was way before any of these hormone stuff they were putting into, their feed. So I just colostrum. It's just the only way that you get that powerful immune food is the miracle of birth. Do you know that a laboratory cannot, they have tried, they cannot reproduce colostrum?
That says a lot right there.
You have to have a live birth in order, and that's why I'm one of those pro nursing, your babies, because that's what was in the food that was intended for them.
All right.
And even though with the bovine colostrum, I've had some very, very amazing, wonderful, wonderful things occur with people over the years with using that. It's just really, it's what was intended for the immune system.
Right. You really can't understate how important it really is.
That's true. It's really sad that, we're kind of back to, they're wanting to shove the old bottle in every child's mouth and send them out of the hospital with their hepatitis B vaccine and already work on destroying their immune system. Sorry, I talked about that before on a show too, is how we ended up with that hepatitis B vaccine being given to our American babies. It's a very small little area in Japan where there was a problem with some babies. But you take a look at what their lifestyle was like. I anymore, when moms say to me, well, I'm going to do a hospital birth, and what do I tell them when they want to do a hepatitis B vaccine? I say, well, you know what? You tell them, hey, I'm not planning on having IV drug users and stuff take care of my child. We don't have a lifestyle conducive to hepatitis B. So, and that's really, look it up, do some research on it. It was not that we had an epidemic of hepatitis B with our children being born in the United States.
Right.
It had to do with a very small little village area in Japan. Why is this something that the pharmaceutical industry picked up and ran with it? Just down to a few minutes here. We're going to have to continue this on the next show.
Okay.
And but I kind of want to go through all of these. There's so many herbs, just that amount that you can build a first aid kit at home without having to spend a ton of money. It might cost you a couple $100 to get set up with some of the key things here, but you know what? It's going to last you throughout the fall and the winter.
Right.
And elderberries, just elderberries. We've got under the Sunshine Heroes for the children. The line for the children, we have the multiple vitamin and mineral. We have they're all in a base of antioxidants. They're just wonderful, yummy. They're like gummy bears, and the kids love them. We've got the elderberry combination for the immune system. And elderberries prevent viruses attaching to the cell wall. So, 4 to 6 elderberry chewies before they go to school in the morning is very, very good, along with their chewable multivitamin and mineral. And we have the fish oil combination for them with the DHA. There is the probiotic for children that's the chewable, but they do really well. I give them the big people stuff because, when your immune system's kicked down, you need it up on its feet as quick as possible. Probiotic 11, colostrum, immune factors is another thing around my place that you'll always find colostrum. And talk to any old rancher and he'll tell you he's got plenty of it in the freezer. Because when his kids were growing up and they were sick, hey, first thing he went to was that colostrum that he had in the freezer. Howard Hughes. Remember him?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. He drank fresh colostrum every morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So he knew something that a lot of your average people out there didn't know. Well, we're out of time for today, and I hope this helps. And next week we will continue this on.
Right on.
Take care and have a wonderful week.